for today's cup of coffee.
Take two.
I was just saying that I want to be a honey badger because honey badger don't give no fucks.
They don't give no fucks.
And it's been one of those days. I really believe that honey badgers could also be like Scorpio.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
And I don't have any Scorpio. And it's just been one of those days. I had... Every time there is some kind of universal law that every time I'm planning to have just a chill day, that there are forces of darkness that's like, no, you're not. We gonna fuck you up.
It's just that cosmic conspiracy.
And so it was just, yeah. So I want to be a honey badger.
I knew it. Speaking of honey badgers, and this is from AI, so don't take it.
Yeah, the AI search results that have been telling people to do things like drink pee or something like that.
But this is not just AI as well. I'm scrolling down. Honey badgers have the sun sign of Scorpio as well in this Chinese zodiac.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. So I was right and didn't even know it. I was just picking up on it from the ether.
Both primal astrology and intimate galore. But Scorpio.
Okay.
Scorpio.
I don't know.
It's in Chinese mythology or Chinese zodiac sign. It is honey badger.
Okay.
So
well, there
that's
you
pretty
go.
cool.
I think it's pretty cool that I just, instinctively knew that.
It's ingrained in your soul.
It is ingrained in my soul somehow, some way, because, if reincarnation is a thing, I go round and round whether I think it is and whether I think it's not.
I don't know. Sometimes I think that there's always a start to the zodiac, and then there is a end to a zodiac sign. So Aries is the start, Pisces is the end. Mm-hmm. So what if, literally, if reincarnation is a thing, we have to be each zodiac sign?
I think that would mean
that
the cosmos would be remarkably cruel.
But it's like our earthly bodies wouldn't understand it, but our spirits do.
Yes.
And so that's sort of what guides us through.
I think that's a form of masochism. I really do. And I think that's that was just like, as far as, you did something in a previous lifetime, so now you got to pay for it in the next lifetime. And that's like a dog pissing on the carpet and you smack him with a newspaper 3 days later. The dog doesn't know why.
Well, they're family curses, and some people don't understand why they're dealing with whatever it is. But turns out it was because of some ancestor years ago putting a curse on the family, and and so that's just that breaking generational curses and shit.
But like I said, on some of it, on some of it, it's almost like either spiritual gaslighting or something like that. It's the same thing with the answer is within you. Well, if I had the damn answer, I wouldn't ask the question.
Right.
It's pointless. It's illogical.
To us, yeah.
And so some of this, I'm thinking, I think people use that as an excuse to treat other people poorly or not try to help somebody that's down on their luck or whatever. I think that's how it gets misused.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's definitely misusage.
And if you want to go down the David Icke rabbit hole on that, as far as that, yes, it is a matter that our souls are trapped in this to where we have to do the reincarnation thing over and over because of I can't remember what the name of the creatures, it was the reptilians, but there was anyhow, but that instead of allowing the soul to go on where it needs to go on, that it traps the spirit. That's horrific.
That is horrific. But that would make more sense in a way if reincarnation is a thing. That would make more sense because God himself would not want us to do that.
No. No, God as we understand him is not a God of as far as misery and suffering.
No. So,
He tries to give us a way out of the misery and suffering.
right.
But honestly, every time I plan on having some kind of just mellow, chill day, it's some kind of cosmic conspiracy somehow. I think it goes to the ether somehow, that it's like, I'm going to fuck her day up. And it just takes, there are certain people, for whatever reason, that they just can flip the switch, and it doesn't matter how many years or how much you've tried to prevent them from flipping the switch. You know what I'm talking about, because you have people, everybody has somebody, unless they're a Scorpio and or honey badger, because they don't get no fucks.
Well, there are other signs that don't give a fuck either, but that's the... Yeah, I certainly understand where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking draining.
Yeah.
Energy vampires in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
It's like... And you try your best to shake it off, and sometimes it just leeches throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. And to try to break any kind of connection and all that stuff that you think that could possibly be, and all that stuff, and it just not. Or at least I ain't figured it out yet.
Right.
I've been rakied, I've been smudged, I've had all that stuff over the years, and it's just like, Coffee slurp. But anyhow,
energy cleansing, drain, all that.
well,
all
and
that
that's
negativity
something we
out.
actually need to put some more camphor out, because I'm really enjoying those camphor blocks. Maybe that's what it is. The camphor blocks the negativity.
Could be.
Sometimes the answers are there.
Yeah.
One of the answers that was there today, in amongst my fixing of the rutabagas in various and sundry ways, because as far as potatoes and diabetes don't go real well together.
Yeah,
so you can
can't
substitute rutabagas.
Yeah. Potatoes run the sugar up real bad.
Yeah.
And glucose, all that. So, yeah, you gotta supplement potatoes for rutabagas a lot of the time. And so, but you made the thing that was like a cheesy potato, but not potato. Cheesy rutabaga thing with bacon, and it was really good.
Yeah, instead of, there is a wonderful barbecue restaurant near us, and they make this fabulous, it is a cheesy potato bake type thing that they have, and it has sour cream, and it has bacon, and it has cheese, and so it was a matter of me recreating that only with rutabagas. Yeah. You use what you got. You do. And then instead of potato salad, I have the rutabaga salad. Mm-hmm. And it's so good. I like it. It, if it works for me, if it satisfies, the craving for these things. Listen, I'm not a big fan of potatoes anyway, but that rutabaga cheesy thing, yeah. Well, it helped that the bacon that I had gotten was a really good bacon. Because the other kind was so salty. You don't know what brand that was either, do you? No, I'll have to write down. I'll dig it out of the trash and look. Me digging through the trash. Yeah. Let me do that dumpster diving shit. I wanted to do that dumpster diving. You can find some good stuff in the dumpster. Yeah, you can find some rats and some bugs and some nastiness. I'm fine with rats. No. God, no, don't do that. Anyhow, rabbit hole instead of rat hole, rabbit hole. And as far as 80s new wave and synth pop. Oh, yeah. And now that was my happy spot that I wanted to remain in today. It was good. And had actually found a video there on the YouTube. This young man was nowhere that, as far as living through the 80s. Now, if you want something that's spooky, sit there and go down those rabbit holes of yesteryear. No. And then sit there and go, that was that far back.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh God.
I think a
Now,
lot.
you don't have to get depressed about it. I mean, it was the 80s were such a wonderful time, especially for music.
Well, see, I grew with you. I was exposed to a lot of music,
Yeah, because it's one of my primary coping skills.
but primarily growing up, all that you would hear was 80s, 90s, and some of what was going on at the time, like the early 2000s. But a lot of that shit, I never realized at the time. I never realized that it was like from decades past. I thought it was
Right.
new
Well,
because it all sounded awesome.
He's also, it's like there
I'm Gen
was
Z.
always a variety of music. You
Yeah.
never knew. He also was exposed to things like tribal music, as far as like, even the belly dance music, didgeridoo. There was goth music. There was such a variety. Sea shanties. Because I will go, just like I get cravings for different food, I get cravings for different music.
I think that's what I think a lot of people get different cravings for different music, but they don't realize that's what it is.
Right.
But that Songs of the Sea album that you made years, like, I love that whole damn playlist.
So he's oversimplifying the music that he was exposed to, even as far
Because
as
there's a lot.
classical or opera or anything like that. I mean, it's all over the gamut.
Yes.
Very eclectic.
Sarah
musically.
Brightman. I love Sarah Brightman. Is it Sarah McLachlan? Yeah, I love her music. I just recently finally got into her.
For years, I'm like, how in the hell is it that you never got into her music and stuff?
Yeah, but yeah, I am oversimplifying.
Lorena McKenna is great.
Yeah, that's another one. I can never remember her name. Lorena McKenna is good. Isn't she the one that had
The Mummer's Dance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I discovered her listening to Art Bell. He had that as a bumper music one night, and I'm like, I've got to find out who that is. And she has a wonderful, discography, if you want to call it, whatever you want to call it.
So good.
But just all kinds of people. So
yeah, I was oversimplifying because there's just so much.
Yeah, because music, like I said, that is something that I enjoy greatly. And so to go down the new wave synth pop rabbit hole, and the young man who did the video, it was good, but there were things that I'm like, it's sort of when somebody is trying to explain it and that somebody wasn't there, and you're like, oh gee, you're talking from theory instead of experience.
Yeah.
But one of the main
he
things,
also had to get information from his mom.
Yeah. Why didn't he have her sitting in with him during that?
I don't know. He did, but she did help him with the research and all that.
Yeah, because she lived it. And so that was one of the main reasons that I stuck with it was he was discussing Adam Ant. And he did a really good job discussing the different, even the sub-genres, because you had new wave that came out of the punk movement, and then you had synth pop that was all in through there, and then you had just snippets, just little branches off of everything.
Yeah.
And you would have 2 or 3 groups out of this group, bunch, and then 2 or 3 out of this bunch. But I had wanted him to see Adam Ant, something other than Goody Two Shoes. Oh my God. And watching some of these things, I'm like, I've been tired of that song for 40 years. Or close to 40 years. But he had another one. He was part of the glam pop movement.
Right.
And that he has a song that was called Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, No Doubt made a cover of it. It wasn't that good.
No, but that was the first. I heard Stand and Deliver long before I heard Goody Two Shoes. I hated Goody Two Shoes.
Well,
I still hate Goody Two Shoes.
Flat out, Stand and Deliver is a better song than Goody Two Shoes.
It is. And just, there were so many amazing people, as far as fine young cannibals, and, there was Blondie. Blondie was one of those, and kids over here arguing as far as her being in the punk movement, but she very much was.
I didn't argue, but it was not. It was something I never really considered her to be, because it didn't really sound like the typical punk.
Right, exactly, because there were little offshoots of punk.
Yeah.
Nina Hagen doesn't sound like,
She doesn't sound punk, but she's very much...
she doesn't sound like Sex Pistols, but she was part of that punk movement.
Yeah. I love Nina Hagen.
Yeah, she's cool. She's just totally an original.
Yeah, she's in her own field, in her own game, and she does it well.
Mm-hmm. But Blondie...
Quirky as all hell.
Heart of Glass was the first song that I ever heard of by Blondie.
It's a good song.
It is a good song.
I like The Tide is High.
Yeah. Well, you would like it because you like ska.
I do like ska.
It's very much got that ska element to it. But a lot of the electronic music when it first came in was it was fresh. It was new. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. And the first electronic song that I heard as a kid, and it took me years to find it, and it was called Popcorn by Hot Butter.
I don't know the tune of it now, but...
well, I can't. I'm not going to sit there.
But I used to play it and be like, oh yeah, that's Popcorn.
Yeah. And it was that they would play it every Thanksgiving at the Macy's Day Parade. I would wait to see if they were going to play that. And I think that my love for that song was one of the things that when some of the new wave came out, that it was just like, yes.
A lot of that new wave, like seriously, it's like, oh,
and
yes.
The synth pop. I like the synth pop more than what some of the people that they were calling new wave.
That's like Visage, Fade to Grey. I really like that song. I like the new version that they put out though a lot better than the original. But the original has its place. It's really good too. Mm-hmm.
I honestly, if I had to pick one song that was the prime example of synth pop from the 80s, that would be Gary Numan's Cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
I adore Gary Numan.
Gary Numan is like a golden child as far as like musical talent and all that. He's just, everything he does is just perfect.
Yeah.
But he's got the tism, so he's got the Asperger's, so he's very calculated, very...
Yes, meticulous.
Yeah.
In everything. And some of the albums that he had out in the past couple of years, phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Absolutely phenomenal. And but if I had that in the group The Cars, they were so good.
Different from Gary Numan's Cars.
Right, that was what was so...
The Cars is really good. Duran Duran is another one that's really good.
Duran Duran had some that I liked. I liked Rio, and then Hungry Like the Wolf, and then there were some of the other ones that was into whatever that romantic type thing, the Spandau Ballet, and I'm like, oh God. And there's probably somebody out there going, they're my favorite band. I'm not trying to besmirch somebody's favorite band. But it was just that. I was a metalhead. I was doing good that I was branching out.
Yeah.
I was a metalhead, but would still listen to funk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always being eclectic. I was a huge Prince fan. Mm-hmm. Rick James. I
was never a big fan of Rick James.
I liked Rick James.
He's got some good songs, but
he a little bit of the nose candy, and it explained a whole lot. And I'm like, oh, okay, that was why he did what he did.
Yeah.
But there were so many good songs in the 80s.
And Bananarama was also into that, but I was never a fan of Bananarama.
Well, some of them were, some of it was good, and I would like some of the weird stuff, like Falco.
Well, usually the weird stuff was
Der Komischer.
Yeah.
Some people's going, it's like, damn, it's late. It's late here, and I'm trying to record. They were good.
Literally.
Taco putting on the Ritz. So some of those...
That's a good one.
Weird songs I appreciated.
Talking Heads.
Oh, yeah, Talking Heads had been
You
around
may find
for a
yourself in a shotgun shack.
while. Yeah. Some of their
How
stuff
did I
out
get
there.
here?
And as far as the B-52s, and for whatever reason, I don't
B-52s is
think I
good.
realized that the B-52s had been around as long as they had. That they were just... It's the B-52s.
Mm-hmm.
But honest to God, that's another one of those songs. Love Shack is so overplayed.
Did you know there's Love
Rock
Shack?
Lobster is really good, but it goes on too long.
It does, but did you know that's technically considered a goth song? Because of the instrumental and,
Yeah, I
and the
think
way
you
that their
said that.
vocals are like...
I think you said that once.
Yeah.
They've gone on this one thing as far as the Police being as far as new wave, and I can see that. They had some good stuff. Don't Stand So Close to Me was good. I mean, they actually did have some good songs.
Yeah.
I got to see them in concert. I wasn't impressed. I actually went to see the other person that was the other. That was a bad night for me. It really, really was. And it's like, yeah, God.
Who was the band that did It's My Life?
Oh, you
Anyway,
asked me
but that was a good song. But when No Doubt came out with their version of it, it just took it to a whole new level.
Yeah, I think so. And the video that they did on that was really, really good.
Yeah.
Aha's song "Take on Me" not only was that an awesome song, but the video style.
Yeah.
That was the first time that I was aware of them trying to do as far as drawing plus live action.
Yeah, mixed media.
It was so unique.
Yeah. And it was just incredible to watch.
Thomas Dolby, and then She Blinded Me with Science.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really, really cool stuff. There was a lot of really good stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Let me find this other website here that I was looking at. But yeah, the Spandau Ballet, I'm like, oh, Ron.
Never.
One of the ones that they did mention is a group that you love, and that was Dead or Alive.
Yeah, Dead or Alive. R.I.P. Pete Burns. They did a lot of cover songs, but some of their original ones, like There's Something in My House, that's a damn good song.
Mm-hmm.
New Cleopatra is a really good song. What else? Of course, it's Spin Me Right Round. Spin Me Round is a good song, but that one is so fucking overplayed. Even Pete was like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah. There was a group called ABC, and they were really good, and their song "The Look of Love."
Yeah.
Now they sort of bridged that gap between Spandau Ballet and some of the other ones, but I enjoyed that one. Mm-hmm. But honest to God, Spandau Ballet would come out, and I would just sort of recoil. It was like,
Was Susie and the Banshees considered like new wave? What were they
Well,
considered?
kinda,
Because they had like
sort
new
of.
wave-esque sounds to it.
Yes, very much. But also as far as early goth,
Yeah. Well, it's trad goth.
yeah, the goths usually claim her as one of the, front runners
Yeah.
of that movement and stuff. Of course, I think that goth is an offshoot of punk to a degree, isn't it?
Yeah, it very much is an offshoot of punk, but it takes it in a more, I would say subdued, but it's not.
It was dark.
Yeah, it
It's
takes
just
it in a
dark.
more dark, romantic.
Right.
I don't know how to describe it because it's something that you feel.
Yeah. But there were just so many. Depeche Mode with me was sort of hit or miss. There are some people that
Depeche Mode doesn't have a lot of good songs. Well, they have good songs, but there's
they're sort
quite
of
a few
downbeat.
duds.
They're sort of downbeat.
Yeah.
On some of this stuff, but good stuff. Like I said, just good stuff. Human League, Don't You Want Me? That's another one that has been played to death.
Me, baby. Don't
But
you want me home?
you've got people, and here's another one: Blue Monday,
Blue
New
Monday.
Order.
Yeah.
And
Monday's
Orgy
really good.
did a copy of that years ago. It was so good.
It was.
I don't mind, covers of stuff if they do it properly.
Right.
There's
Now-
so many of them that don't.
Now, Aisha Erotica did a version of Blue Monday. Her version was basically built from the ground up. She did instrumentals, vocals, all that. It was really good. It was really good. The only thing is she did add that erotica essence to it, and
it's
it
just
got too much.
Really.
Yeah.
Here's another one as far as soft sell. They were the ones that originally did Tainted Love.
Tainted Love was
And at
really
this
good.
point, I think people think that was just Marilyn Manson's song.
Yeah, because that's the only version they know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, while Marilyn Manson did a damn good version of it, the original is it's better. I like it, but it has its place. Like, it's really good.
I think that both. I don't have a problem with both of them. In the same space.
Actually, no, I take that back. It's not better because personally, I like Marilyn Manson's version better.
The video was awesome.
Yeah.
The video was just awesome.
But there's an essence to the original that Marilyn's does not have.
Sure. I mean that's true of a lot of these things. And of course, Eurythmics.
Love
Annie
that.
Lennox's voice.
Her voice is
just amazing.
she's got that perfect voice.
And she had such a unique look when they,
She was striking.
Oh yeah. Just amazing. She was a presence. She's a honey badger.
Wasn't she like the first one to basically do like shaved head and with a unnatural color? Because it was not a natural shade of orange.
Well, it wasn't shaved. It was almost like she had a flat top. I mean, it was just
Well, that's what I'm
sort
saying
of-
when I'm-
or crew cut.
When I say shaved, I don't mean like to the skin.
Right.
Like it's she still got hair there.
Right. Yeah, that was as far as
It's just a
with
really
the video
short.
element. These are some of these people that after MTV became that some people knew how to work the medium and some people did not.
Right.
And
But
that
they did it well.
There are some people that even today that I'm like, my God, I didn't know they had a video. I didn't know they looked like that, and I wish I had not. For real.
Yeah. There's some people that make music videos for certain songs, and it's like, you chose that for the music video?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
And it's like a video ruined Billy Squires' career. It truly, truly did, which was tragic. Billy Squires' first person I ever saw in concert. It was an amazing concert.
What was the video? Why was it that bad that it ruined the career?
Because it was the time. It was
So
the time.
it was
because
just
there
ahead
was-
of its time.
No, it was there were connotations. People don't realize when you've got so many people griping about how many problems need to be fixed, they don't bother to look and see how far as a society and a nation that America has come.
Right.
And in a relatively short time.
Yeah. Only a few decades.
Yeah. And it's like some of these people that's whining and pissing and moaning, they weren't there either.
No.
And it's a matter of forgiveness, not holding grudges, not trying to do tit for tat. Eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, said Gandhi. And probably several other people.
Yeah.
But, there was just so much good music. And honestly, if I had not needed to save up for a brush burner, I would have ordered me a Devo hat today. Yeah. I honestly thought about doing it, and they were $40, and I'm like, I can't do it. They were actually called Energy Dome hats, and Devo has a website that you can go and order them now.
How much are they?
$40.
Well, that's not too bad.
It's bad. I need a brush burner.
$40 versus $200.
Oh no, the brush burner is only like 50 or 60 off Amazon. You don't.
I was thinking of that one that you looked at that was like over $200. And it's
Yeah,
like,
well,
that was an
I need a
original Devo hat
flamethrower.
though. Wasn't
I
it?
want a flamethrower. Honey Badger needs a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like Omega said that we could borrow his propane tank, so I wouldn't have to buy the propane tank.
Yeah, you just need the actual burner.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the reason I did not order the Energy Dome hat. And Devo, they were just...
They're cool. They're cool.
And there were a lot of things that I didn't appreciate at the time, because when you're in your 20s, do you appreciate anything really? But that you can go back, and it's weird because people get in this mindset, which I never fell into that trap that much, of sitting there going, I'm a metalhead, so therefore I can only listen to metal. I can't listen to this, I couldn't listen to that. And I'm like, oh, fuck this. I'm going to listen to Prince. And I would go through campus blasting controversy and some things that I really shouldn't have.
Yeah. I think we've all done that.
Well,
there's stuff I have blasted
like,
through town now that I think about it, I'm like, I really shouldn't have done that.
Train wreck. I really was, and it's by the mercies of God that I'm sitting here.
Mama, a lot of people go through that train wreck era.
Yeah.
It's just a necessary part of life.
But, and different...
You gotta learn somehow.
Friends that I had, different ones would listen to different things and stuff like that. And I would do all this and still listen to the Outlaw Hour on Friday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Which is they that? Had some, you talk about some, it was outlaw music. It wasn't just Willie and Waylon and, as far as Hank Jr., they had the song, She's Doing Quaaludes Again.
Oh,
that
God.
was interesting. I think that was Shel Silverstein, actually. There were quite a few of them that were risque. They were still capable of being played on the radio at a later point in the night.
Hold up.
Right.
She's doing Quaaludes again. Uh-huh. What the fuck is a Quaalude?
Oh, God.
What is it?
That's I'll have to explain that in another, after we finish recording.
Okay. I mean, I get it's a type of drug, but what?
Even as far as, I don't know. I never did as far as drugs, because I've never done well with pharmaceuticals. I think that it probably would have been close to like ecstasy or something. I don't know. The people that I was around, that was not some of the drugs they were using.
Okay. If y'all have used Quaaludes, tell me, what is it like? What is it?
Then there was the song Tequila Makes My Clothes Fall Off.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's okay to branch out and enjoy different types of music.
Yeah. Sometimes you appreciate those type of music now. I mean, literally now we have a genre called slut pop.
Oh, God. Well,
there's a song called slut pop.
I don't even want to, because there is so much that's just supposed to be mainstream now that I could put in that category.
Yeah. This is slut pop.
No, God, and he's going to sing it. But do yourself a favor. Take a day. Just enjoy. If you're younger and you've never gone through as far as new wave or synth pop or anything like that, go in and research some of these things. Enjoy new music.
Mm-hmm. Expand your horizons.
I wish that everybody could have experienced the 80s. I do.
I no joke look back at it and I'm like, that seems like the best time. Out of all the eras, that seems like the best era.
It was fun.
Along with like early 90s. Because even in the early 90s, you still had elements of the 80s.
But you know what? Even in the 90s, you could feel the difference. There was a darkening.
Oh, yeah. There was definitely a shift in the 90s, especially
you can tell that by the music. You can tell.
Mid to late 90s was that there was a huge shift.
That's one of the ways that you can gauge how a society and stuff like that, different things, is changing is by the music. So, but still good stuff. And if you like the Spandau Ballet, you do you, boo. I mean,
You
seriously.
do you, boo.
You can have my share of true. Oh, God. I'll take the Gary Newman. And even the Devo and the Talking Heads and some of that stuff.
Yeah, but y'all also had to deal with like early Madonna, like a virgin Madonna.
You know, when first time I saw her, I'm like, she looked like she needed a bath and that somebody to comb her hair. Honestly.
I hate that song, Like a Virgin. I really do.
It just, you know, she did change so much stuff, be it good or be it bad.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things about her that I don't agree with in a lot of ways. But damn, the woman can sing. She can sing.
She can sing.
And she is a smart businesswoman. She knew what would sell. She knew how far to push the envelope.
Yeah, I mean...
We've got people now that are just going... They don't have that business sense. They go too far, and then they get the pushback, and they're a flash in the pan, and it's like, no.
Well, she had a lot of pushback, too. I mean, she had a music video that wasn't even allowed on television. She had to sell it on VHS.
Well... Yes and no. I mean, she's always had that risque, and she was just flat out selling sex.
Yeah.
You know?
I love her later stuff. As far as, like, Confessions on a Dance Floor. She Hung Up, that song is a bop.
She had a long run of it. Now, as far as doing, you know, now that she's in her 60s, and she's still trying to act like she's 20, and I'm like, look, there's nothing, aging happens.
Yeah.
Nobody stays 20 forever.
And listen,
do it gracefully.
No matter how much you defend that album, Madam X, Madam X was not a good album. That was the last album she put out.
I don't even.
It was not good. It was not.
I mean, what would be? But anyhow,
but there's a bunch of stuff like Ray of Light. Cut. I like that song, Ray of Light.
Oh yeah, she had some really good stuff.
Yeah.
But she's still 60 years old out there doing this stuff, and it's like, honey, at a certain point, sit down, hand the reins to somebody else, mentor other people.
I think she's sort of shifting though, as far as her mental, like her whatever the fuck, like I think there is a shift for the better going on with her right now, because she did a free concert, like full on like everything.
Honestly, when she got into the politics stuff, I was done.
Yeah,
that has happened with a lot of people. I'm like, celebrities, you don't have to go there.
Celebrities are not really supposed to be political figures anyway. They're entertainers.
And they're being used to push agendas. And I'm like, for me, a lot of times it ruins their body of work.
Yeah.
They're people. They can have whatever opinion that they want to have. But I'm also a people. I can have my opinion. And it's like I said, some of them have pushed too far.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I'm grateful that Devo, to my knowledge, and Gary Newman have not pushed too far.
Although Gary Newman's stuff, like I loved the last album he put out, but it had a dark essence to it.
It does have a dark essence to it. It was almost nihilistic in some ways.
Yeah, very. So it's like, what's up with that?
Well, I think that there's a lot of people that, you know, it's the times we're living in, and that is going to reflect through their art and through their music, whatever.
But the thing is, a lot of the music that is actually popular right now, that is like playing on the radio, it's so bad. It's just fucking dumb.
I don't know. I don't listen to popular music every now and then. Now, there have been some...
And I'm so over rap.
Oh God, I was like, I was hoping it was just a phase. I really did. I'm like, this won't last. I really, really missed that one because there had been so much good music before that. I thought, surely not. Now I did enjoy MC Hammer. I
Yeah.
did, and there were some of the earlier rap things that I enjoyed, and then it just and it's like no, 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 no.
Well, like okay, so some rap genuinely does work. It works, and it's actually appropriate for certain music genres. Like for example, that one that I told you should have played Amy Winehouse in the new biopic or whatever. I think her name is Ray something.
I don't know.
Her song "Escapism," that is very much an appropriate use for rap there. But she doesn't. She balances out with singing as well.
Well, with what we've had revealed from Cat Williams and some of these other people lately, we have found out that they are saying that yes, indeed, there was an agenda.
Yeah.
And that agenda and the message that was being conveyed through those songs was to harm people.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
that would be enough to sit there and go, yeah, I need to rethink this. I need to deprogram myself from some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as far as even with metal, see, we went down a total different rabbit hole than I intended to on this video. With metal, back in the 80s, it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll until you had people that, as far as addiction and all that comes with that and stuff. And then that was what was interesting because in some of the 90s, you did have a lot of these people going into rehab, which is a hell of a lot better than them dropping dead. I mean, you had a lot of them dropping dead. And that was the darkness of the 80s because that was when AIDS came in. And you did have people, I mean, not only like Freddie Mercury, that broke
Lost
my
an
heart.
icon there.
You had members as far as Frankie Goes to Hollywood and their song Relax and stuff. And if you want to see one of the most hedonistic videos that you will ever see in your life, go watch the video on that. I had not seen it before a few years ago, and when I watched it, I mean, it was jaw-dropping for me. I'm like, oh, God. And I have been told firsthand by people who were in New York in that scene, and it's like, to understand how that happened, yeah. But let's refocus on the good stuff that happened in the 80s, the fun stuff, the music. And that is just part of it. And for a day to lose yourself in the music.
When you actually go down those rabbit holes as far as all that, like the good 80s music and stuff like that, it just seems like such a happy time.
Well, it was a time, and that's people's memories, you know, the perception of an era or anything. Some people only remember the good, some people only remember the bad, and it was what was going on with them and, you know, internally and externally, which they focus on. Mm-hmm. Music, as far as what were you doing when this song was playing, that's a huge thing as far as triggering memories and stuff. And when, as far as being in college for the first time and doing stuff and being in the clubs, and yeah, and like I said, there are songs that I hated then. Yeah, I still hate them. I'm like, oh God, it's still bad. It was like, no. And to have to hear it for 30 or some 40 years, it's like, no.
Yeah.
But there was other ones. And it was that Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, which was a pop song. That was one of the most overplayed songs ever.
I mean,
because it came from Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun really blew that song up. It's an okay song.
It is an okay song, but when you've heard it for
You get
40
burnt out.
years,
It's it's not one of those songs that you would willingly choose to listen to.
it's just,
Like it's all right, but
like-
it get the fact that they overplayed it. Yeah,
Eye
no.
of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger. Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
It's a good song. Burnt out.
Total burnt. Yeah. Yeah. But then there's some of them that I have listened to for the 40 years. And every time it comes on, I will turn it up. Like I said, and one of them is Gary Newman's Cars.
Yeah, yeah.
So, final thoughts, kid? We ran long on this one.
Music rabbit holes, wonderful things.
Yeah. Be a honey badger.
Be a honey badger. Don't give a fuck. Take on 6 lions at a time.
Yeah.
And it won.
It did. It did. They went in there and they were thought that, and it was a tour group that had seen the 2 honey badgers go in amongst the lions. And they thought, oh, because the mama lions did finally come in, and they thought, honey badger be dead. No. They have this ability, the guy on the video was explaining, that they can somehow almost turn themselves around in their skin because their skin is so loose.
Uh-huh.
And so that thing turned
That's a
around
defense
and
mechanism.
bit the lioness on the nose, and she dropped it.
That's so cool.
Honey badgers, they strutted off.
Uh-huh.
6 lions.
Yep.
Be a honey badger.
Yeah. And you go on with your Scorpio cells.
Yeah. So, some of us are a little envious some days. If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that is there in the description box someplace.
And if you like this video, leave a like, share, comment. Check her out on BitChute and Rumble at Werlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, at Werlanda, COCWS. It's pretty cool on there. It's like a radio station call sign, by the way.
Yeah, I respond to some cool people on there. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of folks I'm suggesting that they get them a Redbubble account and, get some of their AI art where people could purchase it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be way cool.
It would be.
Because of some good stuff on there. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cut.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.